Welcome to the Virtual Business Owners Network on Friday, the 23rd of January. And it will be me giving the presentation. And it's called 5 Simple Ideas for you to help you plan for 2026. It's not rocket science. Most of you know it already. This is always the same. But I just want to sort of remind you of things possibly to think about. One of the things I've discovered is that it's amazing how the number of people want to go out and look for new business and go fishing in a pond where you don't know if there's any fish actually in it, forgetting about the pond that you already have. And that came up in a conversation with an insurance broker that I was chatting to during the course of the week. And they have about 1,500 clients. And they're paying for leads, and they're actually going out and they're looking for new business, and they're very, very good at what they do. And they're hard workers and put in all the hours. And I just said to them, why are you fishing in these ponds where you don't know there's fish and not fishing in the one that you do know there's fish? You have 1,500 on a database. Have you not gone back to upsell or go through them? And this person, one of the partners in this insurance business, said to me, do you know what? I can't believe how right you are. I don't know why I haven't seen it. But this is often quite what does happen to people. They forget what we call the obvious. You're more likely to sell more to somebody that you're already doing business with, as opposed to somebody that is new and you're having to go through the whole, rigmarole and get them on board and do all the things. So all I'm suggesting to you is have a look at who you've done business with over the years. Go back and just track them out. And you'd be surprised how many people are there that you can approach. They're easier to approach. They know you. They probably trust you and are likely to do more business with you. So find out what they need and have a look there. So why make life difficult when you can actually make life a bit more easy for yourself? And then I always talk about the bait. What is the bait that we're all using? One of the things that it's taken me years to learn the folly of is being involved in any sort of social media. None, absolutely zero, zilch, de nada of my clients have come through social media. So what I will do is I might put a post up once a month on LinkedIn, and that's about the size of it. Why? Because it just gives me some sort of credibility. It's like having a business card, it's like having a website. What do I actually need? But my focus should be on networking, referrals, phone calls, emails, testimonials. They're the pieces, they're the bait I need. The most likely way for those of us who are in the professional services or offering a service of any sort is that it'll be referrals. They're the best source. So you can be posting every day of the week on social media. In fact, a friend of mine, for the last couple of years, I was having a chat with him over a coffee, and he was telling me he puts up a LinkedIn article every day and has been doing it for a couple of years. And then I asked him the $64,000 question. How much business have you ever got out of it? The answer was none. And then he started scratching his head. So he's actually changed his whole perspective on the value that social media brings him. So look at those sort of tools. Which is the most beneficial one to you? And if it's making phone calls, make the phone calls. Move away from emails. But have a look. They're your ways of engaging with people. If you're looking to attract large audiences, well, then obviously social media is going to be your default position to go to. But a lot of us are not that way. We're sort of organically growing. And I think these are the tools we should be considering. One of the challenges Nick is not here anymore, but Nick and myself are in business for 25 years. And running a branding and design company, one of the big challenges is we're perceived as selling smoke and mirrors. That's it. It's not like a widget where somebody pays 10 quid and you hand them a widget and they walk away and they go, I've got a widget, and they've something tangible in their hand. So you're dealing with business people who you may perceive have a creative mindset or you are able to comprehend certain things. The truth is they're not. It has to be sort of laid out and mapped out for them. And I'm a great believer in processes. And so therefore, if you're going to put processes in place, why not share them with the potential people you're doing business? I include these sort of things in proposals that I put out there. And really what you're doing is delivering certainty. that somebody is going to provide a service at a particular price, and here are the points along the line in which they can engage and see what's going to happen. So they see a start and they see a finish of a journey, and they see the points in between. I did this, I mapped out this for a very successful estate agent down in the southeast of the country. And she kind of looked at it and went, wow, I hadn't thought about that before. And now she uses it all the time. And it shows in terms of conveyancing, or well, she wouldn't be conveyancing, selling or buying a property. So that people could see, well, I have to do this and I have to get documents, and the solicitor does that. And it showed all the points along that journey. So when somebody is either selling a property or buying a property, they can see clearly what's involved and who has to do what. So what I'm suggesting is, why don't you look at what your process is and what could be included in your proposals that would give comfort to a potential buyer of that service. It gives them certainty. Again, as I said, he's had to go off to a meeting where he's making some money instead of listening to this. But anyway, I'd be preaching to the converted anyway. Consistency of image. I want you to imagine going into sit in front of a surgeon who's going to complete some sort of operation on you, and he's sitting there in a blood-stained T-shirt. I think you'd feel certainly undermined very quickly that in confidence in him. How do you show up to the audience that expect you to show up? So, for example, generally, and probably 99% of the time, if you ever see me, I'll be in a white shirt, which is a business shirt. I'll be wearing a suit, for those of you who have met me, as I say, in the flesh. And branding, I have an email signature. I have a proper email address. I have a website. Now, the website doesn't bring me any business, but it gives credibility. So realistic for a lot of people who spend a lot of money on websites, and sorry guys if I'm hitting anybody's business here, but a lot of sort of small businesses don't need a comprehensive website. They need maybe 3 pages, but 3 good pages that says who these people are, unless you want to engage online or sell a service online. So what is the consistency of your communications? And is it the same right across the board? Again, this is about comfort. It's about certainty. It's about engaging people who look at you and see, wow, this looks like somebody who's professional I could do business with. So how are you showing up? Make sure you have consistency. And by the way, it doesn't cost very much. Like I ran into a business that's going for 2 years and doing very well. One of the partners has an @Gmail address and the other one has @Hotmail address. Now, it costs very little to change that, but the perceptions of people looking at that, I mean, I looked at it, I was horrified to see it, and people using in business. You know, these Gmail addresses are for, domestic use and to have a proper business address. So why not consider that? Not difficult to do, and there's people within the group that can easily help you rectify that simply. Money. Have you worked out what you want to earn this year? I have, because I need to know what I'm going to be earning and set a target for yourself. And now, don't say something like 100,000. That's the default place that everybody goes to. When I ask people these days, what do you want to earn in the coming year? And they say 100,000. And my default question is that net or gross? If it's gross, it's about 130 or 40,000. If it's net, it's about 70,000 you take home. What is it? Okay, now that you know what you want, where are you going to get it from? Look at the services that you're offering. What are you actually offering? And look at how they contributed last year. How is the percentage broken down? Again, sometimes I'm a very slow learner in these things. And I saw a couple of things I was doing last year really contributed bugger all. So why was I investing any time or energy into them? So now I'm focused more on the ones that deliver for me. So where are you focused? Look for the low-hanging fruit. Look for the ones that deliver the biggest return on your energy and your time. And focus on those and then see how they deliver for you and track them along the lines. And believe it or not, that was tip number 5. Thank you very much. If anybody's any questions, happy to answer them. Thank you.
It's funny, Alex, the bit about the email addresses, the amount of times I've seen people use, as you say,